chains, tearing through borders, fueling the flames. From fact books rubber to steel in the sky, he's making us strong, he's got the fight. Long live the power and the might, we're standing tall in the fight. Long live President Donald Trump, bringing our manufacturing back. Long live the USA, strong and free. He's got the vision, the fire, the plan, turning the tide for every man. Jobs coming home, the future is bright. He's leading us into the fight. Yeah. Into the fight. Long live the red, white, and blue. We stand with him, proud and true. Long live President Donald Trump, bringing our manufacturing back. Long live the USA, strong and free. He's got the vision, the fire, the The enemies tremble, the lions fall. We staring down the lies, breaking the wall. From coast to coast, his voice rolls loud, making my country proud. Yeah. Long live the land of the brave, our spirit will never cave. Long live President Donald Trump, bringing our manufacturing back. Long live the USA, strong and free. Long live the leader who stands tall, making America great for all. Long live President Donald Trump, bringing our manufacturing back. Long live President Donald Trump, bringing our manufacturing back. Long live the greatest we've ever had. Let the volume roar and the spirit soar.
In the heart of Detroit, Michigan, a city that had long been known as the Motor City. Life was woven into the rhythm of factories and assembly lines. The clang of metal, the roar of engines, and the pride of craftsmanship had built an empire of industry that shaped America's identity. Among its residents was Jack Turner, a seasoned factory supervisor whose life embodied decades of dedication to Michigan's manufacturing heartland. For over 20 years, Jack had watched Detroit's factories hum with life until that life began to fade. The once thriving auto plants and metal works grew quieter, machines still spun and clanged. But the rows of workers had thinned dramatically. The manufacturing sector, which had powered Detroit's economy and supported countless families, was slipping into an unspoken recession. Jobs that paid well and offered stability vanished, leaving communities uncertain about their future. Jack, like many others, felt the weight of this decline pressing down on him. The roots of Detroit's crisis were complex. Global competition had intensified, and American companies faced mounting pressure to cut costs. While they still needed skilled workers for advanced manufacturing, the reality was that other countries offered a cheaper alternative for education and training, often with fewer requirements for graduates. Countries like Mexico and countries in Asia provided training programs that were quicker and less expensive, producing workers with basic skills at a fraction of the cost of American education. This made it easier and cheaper for companies to outsource or rely on imported labor, exacerbating the decline of U.S. manufacturing.
Adding fuel to the fire was the controversial HB-1 visa program. While initially designed to fill critical skill gaps, it increasingly became a tool for companies to bring in foreign workers willing to accept lower wages than their American counterparts. These foreign workers, often highly skilled, were sometimes less experienced than seasoned U.S. workers who had spent years honing their craft. However, because they accepted lower pay, their presence created downward pressure on wages for American workers, especially those with decades of experience. Jack had seen how this dynamic played out. Skilled American workers, some with 20 or 30 years of experience, found themselves replaced or undervalued. The lucrative careers they once envisioned were slipping away, replaced by jobs that paid less or required them to compete with cheaper imported labor. Meanwhile, the younger generation was growing disillusioned, seeing manufacturing as an outdated and unprofitable path. The pride they felt in working with their hands was fading, replaced by the belief that they couldn't compete in a globalized economy. The city's leadership attempted to address these challenges. Initiatives like the One Big Beautiful Bill Act promised tax breaks and incentives for new factories, and investments in research and development. Measures like the SPEED Act aimed to streamline permitting processes, hoping to accelerate factory construction and job creation. Strategically, tariffs targeted specific sectors, semiconductors and aerospace, to incentivize onshore production. The Small Business Administration launched programs to support apprenticeships and vocational training, aiming to attract young Americans back into manufacturing careers. But these efforts faced an uphill battle. The cost of education and training in the U.S. was rising, with many students burdened by student loans and long paths to certification. In contrast, other countries provided shorter, more affordable training programs with fewer requirements, producing a workforce ready to work sooner and at a lower cost. This disparity made it easier for foreign-trained workers to enter the market, often with less experience but willing to accept lower wages, further undercutting American workers. Jack watched as his industry tried to adapt. His plan invested in automation, robotic welding arms, AI-driven quality control systems to remain competitive. The company partnered with local community colleges to retrain workers, but the pace of change was slow, and the economic pressure relentless. Jack believed that the key to rebuilding Detroit's manufacturing strength lay in prioritizing American workers, investing in education, skills development, and fair wages, rather than relying on cheaper foreign alternatives.
or imported labor. He often thought about the big picture. The core issue was that the global economic system favored countries where education and training were cheaper and easier to access, countries with fewer requirements for graduates, less stringent standards, and lower cost produced workers quickly and cheaply for American workers. This meant fewer opportunities, lower wages, and a sense that their skills and experience no longer mattered as much.
Jack believed that the solution was clear. The United States needed to prioritize its own citizens, focusing on comprehensive training programs, vocational schools, apprenticeships, and higher education that prepared workers for the demands of modern manufacturing. Policies should support American workers first, ensuring they had the skills and fair wages to compete. The government must tighten restrictions on programs like the HB1 visa, making sure foreign labor complemented rather than replaced native workers.
In his quiet moments, Jack reflected on what made America great: its ingenuity, resilience, and the fairness of its system. He dreamed of a Detroit where manufacturing thrived once more, not through cheap labor and shortcuts, but through investment in people, training a new generation of skilled workers who could innovate and lead.
He envisioned a future where a young person could see manufacturing not as a fallback, but as a noble, rewarding career, one that upheld American pride and dignity.
The road ahead was difficult. Political battles, economic reforms, and cultural shifts awaited. But Jack believed that resilience and hard work could turn the tide. Detroit's industry was not just about producing cars or steel. It was about restoring the dignity of American labor, rebuilding communities, and securing a future where hard work paid off. As dawn broke over Detroit's skyline, Jack stood outside his plant. Watching the first shift arrive, new apprentices, eager and full of hope, began learning to operate sophisticated machinery. Symbols of a new era, Jack felt a renewed sense of purpose. The industry was transforming, yes, but this transformation was also an opportunity, a chance to rebuild a stronger, fairer manufacturing base rooted in American talent. In that moment, Jack understood that the real strength of Detroit and the nation lay in its people, not in cheap foreign labor or fleeting profits, but in the resilient skills and determination of its workers. The future was still unwritten, but with the right focus on training, fair wages, and prioritizing Americans, Detroit could reclaim its place at the forefront of American manufacturing. And so, with the rising sun casting a hopeful glow over the city he loved, Jack took a deep breath. The journey of renewal had just begun, and in that quiet dawn, Detroit's spirit endured, strong, resilient, and ready to forge a better tomorrow.
In the shadows of steel and fire, a city's heart beats with desire. Dreams of a past that still burns bright, lost in the chaos of the night. We fight for the soul of our land, stand tall with our hearts in our hands. Rise up from the ashes and flames, where the fire that never dies. Together we'll rebuild, reclaim the pride that never says goodbye. Machines echo the ghost of pride, workers' dreams pushed aside. Steel and sweat, they forced for more. Now they're knocking on opportunity's door. We're tearing down the wall of the store, with fists raised high in the air. Rise up from the ashes and flames, where the fire that never dies. Together we'll rebuild, reclaim the pride that never says goodbye. Steel hearts, they're breaking free. A new dawn's calling, can't you see? Through the struggle, through the pain, we'll forge a future from the rain. We stand united, never fall. Together we'll answer the call. Rise up from the ashes and flames, where the fire that never dies. Together we'll rebuild, reclaim the pride that never says goodbye. The hands that built the dreams we knew, fighting for the red, white and blue. In the dust and the storm we remain, holding tight to the love and pain. Shout it out like a thunderstorm, the city spirit won't be broken. Words of hope unspoken. Rise up from the ashes and flames, where the fire that never dies. Together we'll rebuild, reclaim the pride that never says goodbye. And as the morning breaks anew, Detroit's heart beats strong and true. With every scar and every fight, we forge ahead into the light. Rise up from the ashes and flames, we're the fire that never dies. Together we'll rebuild, reclaim the pride that never says goodbye. Louder, bigger, burner, in the heart of the storm, we stand tall and strong. Through the darkest night, our spirits won't roam. We fight for the soul of our land. With every breath, we'll never let her fade. Ooh. Rivers run deep, our loops run even deeper. Through the trails and tears, we find what's left of the weather. Each brick, each stone, a story untold. Together we rise, no matter how cold. Rise up from the ashes and flames, where the fire that never dies. Together we'll rebuild, reclaim the pride that never says goodbye.
nos ama. Y nosotros. We're gonna rise, we're gonna fight. Con amor y fuerza. Vamos a ganar.
He's got that fire, that passion inside.
El alma de paz de unirnos y cambiar.
He's here to unite, to bring us together.
Con amor en el corazón vamos a crecer.
He loves us all, he's strong and true.
Juntos podemos, vamos a triunfar.
Our power's unstoppable, our love is loud. Estamos de pie, orgullosos y fuertes. Viva el amor y la unidad. He loves us, he believes. Él es nuestro líder, nuestro love.
He's got that passion, that fire in his eyes.
Él está aquí para luchar, para sorprender.
With love as our weapon, we'll win the day.
Juntos somos fuertes, nunca nos rendimos.
He's got that power, he's our guide.
Con amor y fuerza vamos a subir.
The future is ours, bright and clear.
El amor es nuestra llave, no tememos. Viva el amor y la unidad. He loves us, he believes. Él es nuestro líder, nuestro love.
He's here to bring the change, he's got that drive.
Con amor en el corazón vamos a vivir. He's the power, he's the fire.
Juntos alcanzaremos lo más alto.
He loves us, he's our guide.
Con amor y fuerza vamos a crecer.
Standing together, unstoppable force.
Lo que importa es el amor sin miedo.
Viva el amor y la unidad. He loves us, he believes. Él es nuestro líder, nuestro love.
He's here to fight, to rise and defy.
Con amor y fuerza vamos a volar.
He's got that fire, that passion, that's true.
Juntos somos fuertes, nunca nos rendimos.
'Cause he's our guide.
Con amor y fuerza vamos a crecer.
Sun is bright, the time is now.
El amor nos une, no tememos. Viva el amor y la unidad. He loves us, he believes. Él es nuestro líder, nuestra love.
He's here to fight, that passion pursue.
Él está aquí para cambiar nuestra vida. Yeah.
He's here to fight, to make us new.
Juntos somos fuertes, sin miedo.
Oh, he's our guide.
Con amor y fuerza vamos a vencer.
We don't break or go, we're gonna rise.
El amor nos hará más fuertes. Viva el amor y la unidad. He loves us, he believes. Él es nuestro líder, nuestro love.
He's here to lead, he's here to fight.
Con amor where the sun never hides, pride stands tall, like the mountains wide. Through the noise of the bustling town, we hold our dreams, no matter how rough and down. Underneath the stars, so bright and true, our hearts beat loud for what we do. From the fields to the city's core, with every step we're breaking more. Through the storms and through the night, our dreams shine brighter, oh so tight. In our blood they run so deep, proud to be where we stand and lead. Hold your head up, let it shine. Dream big dreams, don't ever deny. In this land where freedom rings, our hopes and dreams, they never die. On the roads where the wind whispers, we chase the future with all our wishes. With every breath we take a stand for the life we want, right here, right now. Through the storms and through the night, our dreams shine brighter, oh so tight. In our blood they run so deep, proud to be where we stand and lead. proclaim the light today. Can't you see through all their lies? They hide the truth, they feed the disguise. We're tired of the endless spin. It's time to fight, let's now begin. Raise your fist, scream out loud. No more silence, break the shroud. We're the fire in the night, burning bright, we'll win this fight. Politicians hear our cry. We won't bow, we'll defy. This is our revolution's call. Stand up strong and never fall. They build their thrones on broken dreams, but truth's the weapon it redeems. No more puppets on their strings. We're breaking free. Hear the bells ring. Can't you see through all their lies? They hide the truth, they feed the disguise. We're tired of the endless spin. It's time to fight, let's now begin. Raise your fist, scream out loud. No more silence, break the shroud. We're the fire in the night, burning bright, we'll win this fight. our skills prime. When survival calls, we respond. Our ingenuity forever beyond. Don't let the rules choke the fire. Human spirit, rise up higher. Fight the system, break the chains. Trust the God, feel the pain. In the heat, in the rush, human spirit never giving up. So remember, when the pressure's tight, it's our instinct that brings a light. Not just rules, not just control, but the raw and rugged human soul. Unleash the force, the anger, the pride. Human spirit never hide. Fight the system, break the chains. Trust the God, feel the pain. In the heat, in the rush, human spirit never giving up. Trust your God, be strong, be free. Human spirit, the final key.
Injection molding in the USA versus injection molding across oceans. In the world of injection molding, a simple process, just shaping plastic into a desired form. Yet behind the scenes, it resembles a battlefield of rules and control. Picture a room filled with 5, 6, even more engineers all gather around a single mold. They watch intently as molten plastic is injected, scrutinizing every detail, analyzing every fluctuation. Why so many eyes on what seems like a straightforward task? Because in this environment, perfection is demanded. Every imperfection, every minute deviation must be accounted for. In this controlled realm, each engineer holds a chart, a monitor, a checklist, each one ready to stop the process at the slightest hint of a flaw. The mold is cooled, tested, adjusted, repeatedly. It's a ballet of precision, but one that often forgets the human touch. The instinct, the experience, the raw skill of a skilled worker. Those are secondary to the endless protocols and safety nets. The focus is on control, not necessarily on ingenuity. Meanwhile, across oceans, in less regulated corners of the world, workers approach the same task differently. They might use their hands, their feet, their senses, trusting experience and instinct over charts and alarms. They adapt quickly, intuitively, fixing what's broken, feeling the mold, sensing the heat, and adjusting on the fly. Their work is raw, direct, driven by necessity rather than protocol. Now imagine this same scenario. A worker who once relied on instinct and resourcefulness, suddenly placed into the rigid American system. Instead of trusting his skills, he finds himself surrounded by rules, safety checks, and endless oversight. The work becomes a matter of following procedures, not feeling, not intuiting. And even after pouring hours into perfecting the mold, the job still may fail. Because in a system that suppresses human ingenuity, perfection becomes an elusive goal.
The truth is simple. When hunger drives you, when survival is at stake, you do whatever it takes. You use your hands, your feet, your senses, your instincts to get the job done.
But in a society where options are plentiful and safety regulations are strict, the drive to improvise, to trust your gut diminishes.
The work becomes mechanized, sterile, and often less effective because it ignores the essence of human ingenuity.
The moral here is profound. True mastery and excellence
come not just from following rules, but from nurturing the human spirit. Our ability to adapt, to innovate, to trust our instincts over regulation can cage the very creativity that drives progress. Sometimes it's the raw, unfiltered human touch that turns a good job into a great one.
In the world of injection molding, as in life, the balance between control and instinct is vital. Too much safety, too many protocols, risk drowning out the ingenuity that has
Built civilizations. But trust and resilience, those come from within, from the primal drive to succeed, from the instinct that has carried humanity through the ages. So remember, while rules and safety are important, never forget the power of human ingenuity. Sometimes the greatest progress comes when we trust ourselves, when we embrace the raw, imperfect, yet vital spirit that pushes us to do better, to be better.
across this wide open nation, seen the mountains, deserts, and the plains. But today I took a quiet turn down a dirt road, through a small town place I don't remember by name. There were old folks sitting on the porch swinging, kids laughing, chasing fireflies after dark, and high above, waving proud in the evening, was a flag that lit the sky like a shining spark. Suddenly I felt a long lost feeling, like a breeze that whispers through my soul, a flash of something I've been missing. Deep inside I knew I was whole. Oh, this is America, land of the free and the brave. America, where the dreams still stand tall and true. I'll hold on to the promise of a country that's always new. Stop by corner store on Main Street, kids run wild in the summer sun, laughing loud like we did back in the day, before the world moved so fast and spun. There's something about these small town moments, like a painting in a timeless frame, where hearts are honest and the spirit steady, and every face still calls out my name. Suddenly I saw the truth unfold, in the simple ways that never fade, in the laughter, in the stories told. That's the soul that will never break. Oh, this is America, land of the free and the brave. America, where the heart beats strong As I drive away, the memory lingers of a place that's forever in my heart. No matter how far I may wander, it's the roots that keep me from falling apart. Oh, this is America, land of the free and the brave. America, where the spirit never dies. I'll keep holding to the dream underneath these endless skies. dusty roads for miles, under the vast unyielding skies. Each step a memory, each mile a tale of small town dreams, of love and trial. Past fields of gold and cotton white, where neighbors share a smile and a bite. The laughter rings, the children play, in a place where time moves slowly, day by day. Suddenly, I felt a deep, familiar pull, a warmth that wraps around my soul. The echoes of my childhood, clear and true, reminding me of home, of what I knew. Oh, this is America, land of the free and the brave. America, where the dreams still stand tall and true. I stopped at a diner, old and quaint, with signs that say welcome and come again. The smell of coffee, fresh baked bread, in every town, the spirits